Hello once again everyone and welcome to Cruisnick's Purgatory. I'm your host Cruisnick X. It's been a long, grueling 10 levels. And let me tell you, it was no small feat doing this one because it takes forever for DPS to get anything done in terms of roulettes or any duties for that matter. But we finally made it to level 80 on Monk, and might I say, do I look pretty damn good. With the whole gear set here. As you can see, I'm wearing the full level 80 gear. I'm trying to pronounce this as best I can. The Bikiku. This is the weathered Bikiku gear, along with the level 80 artifact weapon weathered God hands. And this is the gear you can get this gear once you've hit level 80. You've completed the physical DPS role quests, or the full level, physical DPS role quest line, and have talked to Geralt, and then you can retrieve this gear. So that's all. So yeah, that's that. Moving on. So with the release of Shadowbringers, a lot of shit has changed. So let's not waste any more time and get right down to it. First and foremost, we'll start with role actions in terms of physical melee DPS. First and foremost, you'll notice that Diversion and Crutch have been removed due to the changes in how aggro works, so that's a different thing. Also, as you probably noticed in the last video and throughout my entire Shadowbringers live stream, the TP gauge the technical points gauge was removed, so there was no need, so there's pretty much no need for Invigorate and Goad, so those have been removed as well. So, melee DPS gets 6 role actions. I am losing it today. So, let's start with our level 8 ability, which is Second Wind. For those of you who have always used Second Wind, it should come as no surprise that this remains in here, because it instantly restores your own HP. The potency has been changed a little bit, but the potency varies with your current attack powers. So it's got a 120-second recast time, which will probably change within here and there throughout future patches. Level 10, you get Leg Sweep, which is a 40-second recast time. It stuns the target. The stun lasts for 3 seconds. It's good to have. It's always going to be there because you need to interrupt attacks. Bloodbath, which you get at level 12, a 90-second recast time, converts a portion of physical damage dealt into HP for 20 seconds. It's a good thing to have if you're in a pinch and the healer's not really doing much. Feint, your level 22 ability. It's a 90-second recast time, lowers target's strength and dexterity by 10%, and the duration lasts 10 minutes. I mean, not 10 minutes, 10 seconds. Wow, I am losing it today. Now, all physical DPS can use this. It's really good to have as a debuff. As you can see, I haven't really put it on the hotbar yet, but good to have. At level 32, you get the ability Arm's Length. This is a 120 recast time. It creates a barrier nullifying most knockback and draw-in effects for 6 seconds, and an additional effect of slow plus 20% when the barrier is struck, and that debuff on an enemy lasts 15 seconds. Finally, at level 50, you get True North, which nullifies all action direction requirements. So if you really don't care about positionals and you really want to get through things, you can pop True North, and it's got two maximum gets 2 charges to it, so it's good to have in a pinch. Let's move on to the monk. Now, the monks, first and foremost, let's start off with getting down to what has been removed from monk, first and foremost. Well, actually, no. Let's start with the gauge. The gauge has changed considerably. And there's a reason for that, and I will explain it as we go along with the ability changes. But first, we'll look at what monk lost in this update. First off, internal release, which raised your critical 1 ilm punch. Steel Peak, Howling Fist, Purification, which restored TP, so that wasn't necessary anymore. Finally, the 3 elemental tackles, Fire Tackle, Earth Tackle, and Wind Tackle, have all been removed. We still have the Shoulder Tackle ability, and I will talk about that a little bit more in a little bit. Let's talk about current ability changes. First off, your level 1 Boot Shine. It got increased from 140 to 190 and now has a Leaden Fist potency. I will explain that more in a bit. Moving on, level 4. You now get True Strike. It has its potency was raised from 140 to 220. Its rear potency increased from 180 to 240. Level 6, you get Snap Punch, increased from 130 to 200 in potency, and a 170 to 220 flank potency. So that's improved. Level 18, you get your level 18 ability, Twin Snakes, got bumped up in potency from 100 to 150, and a flank potency from 130 to 170. Your level 26 ability, Arm of the Destroyer, got bumped up in potency from 50 to 80, and now has an Oppo form potency of 110, and the silence effect has been removed due to the updates to Final Fantasy XIV through Shadowbringers. Your level 30 ability, your level 30 job weapon skill, Rockbreaker, now has a potency of 120, which is less than its previous potency, but it's still a good ability to have. Not a lot of changes there. Still does most of the same effect. Your level 30 Demolish weapon skill. The potency has been increased from 30 to 70. The rear potency increased from 70 to 90. And the damage over time potency increased from 50 to 65. The level 35 ability Shoulder Tackle now has a maximum charge of 2. And I will explain that one a little more again. The stun effect, however, has been removed. I don't understand why they removed the stun effect to Shoulder Tackle, but I'm sure they had a perfectly logical explanation for it. Your level 50 ability, Perfect Balance, now has a 120 second recast time, but it still allows the execution of weapon skills without being in certain forms. The level 50 weapon skill Dragon Kick has increased in potency from 100 to 170. The flank potency increased from 140 to 190. The blunt resistance down effect has been removed, but instead we have gained a Oppo form bonus that grants Leaden Fist. Now allow me to explain what Leaden Fist does. How it works is, when you're in Oppo form and you perform Dragon Kick, it gives you the effect of Leaden Fist. And that ensures that your next Boot Shine technique will gain more power to it. So that's why I talked about the Leaden Fist potency when I introduced Boot Shine earlier. And it's a great ability. You can alternate between using Boot Shine and Dragon Kick as your first strike, depending on how you're working your abilities. Moving on, the level 66 trait Tackle Mastery is now gained at level 66 and allows for the accumulation of charges for consecutive uses of shoulder tackle with a maximum of 2 charges. And finally, the level 68 ability Riddle of Fire no longer grants Fists of Fire. So Riddle of Fire has really changed up in this particular update. Let's move on to new abilities. First and foremost, the level 45 ability, 4-Point Fury. Now this is what replaced One Ilm Punch on the list, and I gotta say, I actually enjoy it a lot more than I did. I thought I was gonna enjoy it less than I did One Ilm Punch, but 4-Point Fury actually has been a great addition to my repertoire. It delivers an attack with a potency of 120 to all nearby enemies. It can only be executed when in raptor form, but it actually grants a couple of additional effects. First of all, your raptor changes to coral form, but also it extends the Twin Snake's duration by 10 seconds to a maximum of 15. So it's great to have when you're in when you are quick to... If you're using Twin Snakes a lot and you want to extend the duration without having to use Twin Snakes exclusively, you can change it up with 4-Point Fury and you'll boost it up by 10 seconds. Next up, we have the level 72 trait Fist of Fire, which, Enhanced Fist of Fire, which improves Fist of Fire's damage increase to 10 seconds. 10%, my bad. I am losing it. Next, your level 74 trait, Deep Meditation 2. This grants a 70% chance that a chakra will open upon dealing critical damage with a weapon skill. Next, we move on to your new level 74 ability, Enlightenment, which this one is a ranged attack with a range of 10 yalms and a radius of 10 yalms. It delivers an attack with a potency of 220 to all enemies in a straight line before you. So you could pretty much say this is an improved Howling Fist. but it can only be executed while under the effect of the 5th chakra, and all 5 chakra close upon execution. At level 76, you gain the trait Riddle of Wind, which allows the stacking of a 4th Grease Lightning while under the effect of Fists of Wind. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about the Grease Lightning gauge has been changed considerably. At level 78, you gain the skill Anatman. I cannot pronounce that, I'm sorry. And what it does, it's a 60-second recast, and it halts the expiration of Grease Lightning in your present form. It also increases stacks of Grease Lightning. It has a duration of 30 seconds, and it cancels auto attack upon execution. Basically what this is if you're in a pinch and you're far away from the enemy and you need to keep your Grease Lightning on, you pop this skill, and basically it just acts as it keeps the duration maximized, it keeps your Grease Lightning in check, and you won't lose your stacks. So it's a great skill to have. I love it. I've been using it a lot in recent areas. And finally, your level 80 weapon skill, Six-Sided Star. A 5-second recast time with a potency of 400. It also has an additional effect of it extends Grease Lightning duration to maximum. Now, this weapon skill does not share a recast timer with any other action. Upon execution, the recast timer for this action applies to all other weapon skills and magic actions. Honestly, I haven't had the ability of actually testing that out. I'm hoping to try it out tonight during this live stream. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that is pretty much the basic gist of the entirety of the changes for Monk. Now that we've got that down and finished, we can move on to bigger and better things, namely the level 80 Monk quest. Now, we've been through a lot in terms of the Monk quest. We fought a fellow brother of the Fist of Rhalgr. We fought a fellow monk. We've restored the Fist of Rhalgr. And we basically trained new recruits, and we basically restored the Fist of Rhalgr. It'll be interesting to see how it's going. But let's not waste any more time and get right down to it with the level 80 Monk quest, A Monk's Legacy. Ah, Chris. Excellent timing. I have a request to ask of you. Worry not, it is a simple task that shan't overburden your simple mind. In no small part due to your valor, Alamigo has won free of Imperial tyranny. But something is afoot that gives me cause for concern. Not long ago, a soldier of the Resistance came asking after Widogild's whereabouts. As you know, the buffoon was once a captain of the Resistance, and he had gathered under him like-minded men and women who burned with an all-consuming hatred for the Empire. While the inquiry may have been completely innocuous, we cannot discount the possibility that there are those who burn with hatred still, who mean to drag Widogild back on the path of vengeance. Though the Widogild as we know him now would not lend such talk an ear, he may not be given a choice. Lest it turn ugly, I want you to find your brother Monk and alert him to the dangers. The last time we saw Widogild was in Ul'dah. If he isn't there still, the villagers may at least be able to direct you to him. Go quickly, Chris. Off to Ul'dah. Alright. Alright. Well, hello. You're that monk from before! Ugh! The way you laid the corpse brigade low was just glorious! I wanted to become strong like you, so I went and joined the monkhood. Never once skipped training, I'm proud to say. Master Widogild? Last I spoke with him, he mentioned that he was trying to find Theobald. Fellow disappeared while under the healer's care. Someone saw him staggering out of the village in the early hours. Was headed west by the sound of it. Okay. Wait, aren't you Master Widogild's master? Looking for him, you say? He's not here at the moment, but he comes fairly often to train us. Though he's a hard teacher, he inspires hard work. Thanks to his guidance, I was able to earn my cloth. Right, his whereabouts. During his last visit, he said that he was going to Little Alamigo next. If you hurry, he might still be there. Okay, that doesn't help much. Ah, yes, I remember you, friend. Is there something you need? Master Widogild? He's been traveling around Eorzea, spreading the teachings of the monkhood. He comes back to Ul'dah from time to time to train our people, but I couldn't rightly say when he'll next visit. Alright, let's try Little Alamigo. Ah, there you are. Is there something I should know about?
Chris, I did not expect to see you here.
And the twins.
This grave. Know you who lies here? It is the man who called himself Theobald, my closest brother, Audrey. We had brought him to Ul'dah for healing, but he fled in spite of his wounds. He looked like a hunted man, so do witnesses say. I do not believe that. Audrey was not one to flee. He had used the corpse grade. He knew they would come for him. Rather than wait, he went to them. And now he is gone. I wanted him to live, to stand at my side again. I should have done more.
You tried your best to have him see the light, like you did for us. You mustn't be so hard on yourself.
Much has happened with you too, brother. That much is plain. Come, let me hear your tale. So, Erik chose to sever ties with his kin. A resolve to which I can relate. I too chose my own path, spurned blood in favor of faith. Your part in this tale impresses me also. To do battle in a world flooded with light. Yet again I am reminded of your greatness. But my apologies. You have traveled far. Is there something you require?
Huh? I was just coming to check on you guys.
A soldier of the Resistance seeks me. What could his purpose be?
You don't suppose they're coming out after those of Theodoric's line? It seems to me the Resistance would be above such acts. Yet I can offer no alternate explanation.
Captain! It has been a while, sir! You. It has been a while indeed, but I am no one's captain. I have long since left the Resistance. Forgive me, sir, but old habits. It's hard to regard you as anything save my esteemed captain. But if that is not your preference, Master Ul'dah, may I ask you to accompany me to Rhalgr's Reach? There is a matter we wish to discuss with you. Is that so? Very well then. Lead the way. Zensha, Ochaka, please wait here. I will return anon. Chris, may I ask you to join me? You are well regarded in the Resistance. Your presence will give me heart. Without further ado then, let us be away.
Alright, off to Rhalgr's Reach. I just want to check on the twins first beforehand. Hold the fort, Zensha. Never do anything fun, Zensha. Please take care of Master Ul'dah. As always, Zensha's always a little firecracker. Off to Rhalgr's Reach. Alright, I don't feel like traveling. I don't feel like running all that way, so I'll just pop on a mount.
Sorry for keeping you.
Oh, it's Lise. Wrong voice. I'm Niece Hex of the Alamigan Resistance. Thank you for coming all this way. Chris! Don't tell me you know Master Widowgelt. Yeah.
Chris is a dear comrade. I owe him much and more.
Well, that makes it easier then. To get right to the heart of the matter, Master Widowgelt, we wish to invite you to rejoin the Resistance. Under the Mad King and then the Garleans, the people of Alamigo lived in crippling fear and mutual mistrust. In rebuilding the nation, we want to create a place where folk can believe in and support one another. A place where everyone is regarded as a friend.
Even those who are kin to the Mad King?
We should have reached out to you earlier, I know. But we feared that doing so would incite those who plotted a return to the old rule.
It's quite all right, Commander. I know your intent is good and true. However, I cannot rejoin the Resistance. I would serve my nation as a humble monk. This I have sworn to myself. A man named Theodred never existed. There was ever only Widowgelt, and he wishes to restore that which was once lost. The teachings of the Fist of Rhalgr.
I see. Then you must do what your heart tells you. Let's try this again. I put this request to Widowgelt of the Fist of Rhalgr. I want you to train the soldiers of the Resistance. Though we've won our freedom, we must be prepared to fight and keep it. And I believe that your techniques would serve us well. I've never trained properly myself, and for what it's worth, I'm very keen to learn.
And I should be honored to teach.
Great! Here, in your debt.
If I might make a request of my own, may I visit the Temple of the Fist? I would pay my respects.
Of course. You hardly need my permission to do that. Come on, Chris. Well, let's all go together. Man, it's been a while since we've been through here. I mean, not, but as needed for the live stream.
Being here brings back memories. I remember the High Priest, my brother and sister monks. All of them gone now, in fire and smoke.
But you survived. Like the temple's stout stones. And thanks to your efforts, the faith has begun to rise from the ashes.
Not my efforts alone. All I have achieved I owe to many others. Professor Erik, Dizenza, and Ochaka. And not least of all, Chris.
I couldn't have come this far on my own either. Like you, I had dear comrades to prop me up and push me forward. And I'll never stop forging on! For Al Amigo!
Our paths may differ, but our goals are one and the same. There is no more need for words. Chris, the professor worries for me. Please return to him. Let him know that all is well.
Good to know. Alright. Alright, let's head back to Ul'dah. Why he always decides to hang out at the Goldsmiths Guild is beyond me, but... It always takes so long to load these screens when I'm doing a live stream. Alright, Goldsmiths. There it is. And here we are.
Ah, you are returned. Are you able to find Widowgilt?
He's fine.
I see. I'm pleased to hear that his effort to revive the Fist of Rhalgr proceeds apace. Of course, it will still take considerable time for the faith to take root across the land. But Widowgilt is young and determined.
The day will come when he realizes his dream.
But to think that it was none other than Curtis Heck's daughter that sought him out. A woman who embraces her lineage, and a man who rejects his. Vexed thus, viewed thus, their paths could not be more different. But as they have discovered, their goals are one and the same. Al Amigo is stronger for the cooperation.
In any case, it appears my concerns were unfounded. My thanks for laying my fears to rest. For a while, though, I believe I will observe those two souls in their future endeavors. After all, I am nothing if not observant. And with that, we've unlocked the achievement Bulletproof 4. And completed yet another quest. With it, we've also gained a title, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Now we can be Chris Valentine, the Transcendent. Or is it the Transcendent Chris Valentine? This I've got to know now. Yep, Chris Valentine the Transcendent. I like that. We can work with that. Anyways, with that being said, that's going to conclude this episode of Cruisenix Purgatory. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed the show. As always, if you're watching this on Twitch or live at PlayStation and you like this show, click the follow button, be sure to turn on notifications so you're well informed, and be sure to subscribe to me for exclusive access to videos and live streams. If you're watching this on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel by clicking here. Click here to watch more by me. Click here to watch the next episode when it comes out in the new expansion, and click here to watch the previous one from Stormblood. Until next time, Cruisenix signing out.